Hi, I'm Leslie Koo. In my last video, I mentioned that it was very important to choose the right category. Before I proceed to the next step, I want to talk more about the category itself. I'm not going to talk about all the categories available, just the ones that I chose for my stories so far. In this video, I want to talk about sci-fi, a story category that I love, and I also like to watch sci-fi movies. So, what is sci-fi? To me, a sci-fi story is a story that has to involve technology. It has to, else it won't be sci-fi. Most of the time, cutting-edge technology that has not been known to mankind, other than its creators and the people who pay for the R&D. Also, it includes the technology that comes from other planets, alien technology, way more advanced, and the alien race is another major element in a sci-fi story. My books Parallel, Chameleon, and Time Maker are under the sci-fi category. Why do I like to write and read sci-fi stories? Sci-fi stories give my imagination a huge space to wander, flexibility. I like stories with worlds or the environments that are different, at least a bit different from the one that we are living in. I like to let my readers know what they can expect when there is a world like the one that I created. That is why I like to write sci-fi stories. I can build a world with features that do not exist in reality, and I believe that will make the world of the story more attractive and more room to build the world so that it can give exactly what the story needs. Although I like to add necessary features that do not exist in reality, I also like to maintain what we have in the real world, the one that we are living in, instead of creating a brand new one. Having mixed my created features with our world, I believe gives the readers a certain degree of familiarity, not entirely stranger to the world of the story. Now, let's look at the characters in a sci-fi story. The human characters. I can give them special powers or special abilities. The main characters may have more special abilities or more powerful than the other characters. I find that compared to non-sci-fi, this gives me more flexibility in building the events surrounding the characters and interactions between the characters. And for the non-human characters, aliens, extraterrestrial life forms, the alien race allows me to have much more space or freedom to create the alien characters for the story. For instance, these characters can come from planets that are millions of light years away. Some of them have to use the technology to put on a cover, making themselves look like humans. Maybe to isolate them from the air which we need to live, but it is little to them. As for the original form, it can be whatever I want it to be. This is the kind of freedom that I like, that I want when I'm writing. The events. Events are something that connects the characters in the story, makes the story flows, and also showcase what the story wants to tell the readers. Being an event of a sci-fi story, it must be tech-related, advanced technology, or a tech breakthrough. For example, a group of scientists created a device that can open a portal that leads to the other side of the Earth, or to Mars, or another planet. And aliens can be involved, though it may not be necessary. It all depends on the needs of my story. Now come the environment. The environment is important. A stage for the characters and the events. I can decorate the story's environment with plants and animals that are not from this world. They are from outer space, brought in by the aliens that are settling here on Earth. They may not play a significant role, but they can give the readers an idea of the world where there are aliens living among us. How the characters interact with their environment that has plants and animals from another planet or other planets. This will give an additional flavor to the story. Now, there's one important thing that I always remind myself of. Sci-fi and fantasy are not the same, though both have creative characters, environments, and features. For a fantasy story, they are not from the technology side, not from outer space, not aliens. They can come from old stories, old tales of this world. They may be religious, even if the story is built based on a created world. No high tech and no aliens are involved. Non-human characters in a fantasy story are most of the time mythical creatures. For example, dragons, elves, angels, dwarves, orcs, witches, unicorns, and many others. Also, magic is an important element in a fantasy story, so it is critical not to mix up the features of sci-fi and fantasy stories. That's all about the sci-fi category. See you next time in my next video.